What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I've been in a bit of a Mario mood, so we're going to make a video on another Mario game. I haven't made a video on this game on its own. I probably made a ranking or two and some speculation in a time that I'd rather not acknowledge. But I've wanted to talk about Super Mario 3D World. And this is a Mario game I've always seen a lot of praise of, and then there's some interesting opinions in the past. We're going to go through how I feel about the game, of course, and why I like it a lot. So, yeah. Alright, so let's start off with the story. And usually I wouldn't talk about story in a Mario game, but, I mean, it's different, so take that as you will. Basically, Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Blue Toad. Yeah, Blue Toad. Good. That's the best Toad right there. Basically, we're taking a nice little stroll during the Mushroom Kingdom when they see a pipe of some kind. Mario and Luigi fix it with their plumbing skills. Yeah, they're still plumbers here. And they see a fairy known as a Sprixie Fairy. And Bowser, of course, is up to no good, kidnapping all these fairies, and it's up to Mario and the others to save all the fairies. Yeah, I said fairies a lot there. So yeah, that's the story of the game. I mean, hey, it's not Peach getting kidnapped, so I'm sure this will be a good game here. Since as my favorite Mario game is Mario Galaxy. Anyway, so yeah, this is a 3D Mario game in a level style. Now, I also want to address Super Mario 3D Land into this. I was honestly tempted to make a video on this game, but I have not played this game in a very long time, so I will need a kind of refresher on this game. But basically, this game was on the 3DS, and it was basically a linear 3D level clearing 3D Mario game. And you know, it was good for a 3DS game, you know? But I never looked past, like, I was always like, yeah, it's a good game for what it is. It's a good game for a 3DS, but I never looked past much of it. It's my least favorite 3D Mario game. It doesn't mean I think it's not a bad game at all, but I never looked more than just, yeah, it's a good game, but I wouldn't replay this as much as the other 3D Mario games. And then, a few years later, they revealed Super Mario 3D World, and yeah, I've lost count how many times I've replayed this 3D Mario game. Like, I remember getting this game for Christmas the year it came out, and it was such a memorable moment. I've always wanted to play this game, and I got it for it was on Christmas, I believe I got this, and it was worth getting a Wii U for this, okay? I know there's been a lot of talk of the Wii U and all, but also, I know it's showing the Switch footage of 3D World, which is basically, you know, it is like the best version of the game. It has a brand new game mode of Bowser's Fury, but we're not here for that today. We're here for the original Mario 3D World experience. Basically, of course. So there are, you know, so in this case, you play as 4 characters in this game, and which means 4 characters. This game actually has multiplayer. You can play up to 4 players, just like the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Now, there's been a lot of talk of having multiplayer. One of the criticisms with New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U, despite the games having chaotic multiplayer, it may be a slog to play them by yourself. I say this as I've replayed New Super Mario Bros. Wii a few times by myself. I've never had an issue with the empty space as much. I feel like people exaggerate a little bit and they only focus on, like, what, 3 levels that have that? Because not all the levels were empty. There was still stuff going on, you know, but I can totally understand why people wouldn't get into them. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is still the worst one, I don't care. But yeah, in case of 3D World, that's not the case whatsoever. I've replayed this game by myself, and I seriously didn't have much issue. The level design was really good, and there were some unique locations that you barely see in Mario games. This was also released at the time when the Mario series was in a interesting state. People refer to Mario in the Wii U and 3DS era as the bland era for Mario, where a lot of Mario games use a New Super Mario Bros. Style, and they always say it's generic and all, but, you know, that's just how it is. I don't know, it's just that era of Mario was kind of rough for some people, but 3D World is the exception, in my opinion, of having some new locations, fresh new characters, especially with the enemies, and of course, I gotta talk about that, I gotta talk about that soundtrack, dude. Like, that soundtrack, I love Mario Galaxy music, but 3D World, I say it's on the same tier, in my opinion. There's some jazz in this soundtrack. There's some amazing themes here. It's overall just a fantastic soundtrack. And like I've lost count as I've listened to most of it. It's just such a good soundtrack. You see most of them remixed for a reason, honestly, and especially Super Bell Hill and stuff. Like it's just such a good soundtrack, honestly. And you know, I haven't even talked about the controls. This is about what we expect in a standard Mario game, of course. But of course, the main gimmick is a new power-up. The cat suit makes you play as a cat and you can climb on walls. It's a silly power-up that just works super well, honestly, and it became one of my new favorite Mario power-ups. So yeah, and it helps you get some collectibles, which are the green stars and the stamps. Those are the main collectibles you need to get in the game. The green stars are a way to progress because you can't get to the castles without them. Sometimes they're locked, so you need to collect green stars. The stamps are obviously optional, but if you want that 100% requirement, you want to get all the stamps. And the last thing that you want to need is get to the top of the flagpole. This has been a standard for some Mario games where you have to get the golden flag. When you get the top of the flag, it turns golden. So yeah, keep that in mind for later. But the main gimmick I didn't even talk about is playing extra characters, of course. You play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Blue Toad, each with their own abilities. Mario is the all-arounder character, easy-to-learn character. Luigi has a higher jump, but probably slippery controls. I'm not sure if that's true, though, but that tends to be the case with Luigi. Peach is slower, runs slow, but can float. And Toad doesn't jump as high, but is really, really quick and really good if you're a speedrunner. Notice how this is very similar to Super Mario Bros. 2 Dookie Dookie. When I say Mario Bros. 2, I mean this version. Lost Levels does not exist on my channel. Yeah, I love playing these characters. I tend to go Luigi for most of this game, honestly, but I sometimes switch around with other characters that are required to, like, there's a bunch of switches that have specific characters that you're gonna need to play as, honestly, and so keep that in mind for collectibles' sake. So yeah, my nose not the greatest there, but whatever. And yeah, there's just so much. The bosses in this game, I don't want to talk about bosses in Mario games. They're easy. Like, I mean, when I first played the game, that could have been a different story, but I played this game so many times, the bosses are not that hard, honestly. But to be fair, you could say this with like any Mario game, so I could care less about this ruining the game or anything. There's just, oh, this Mario game is amazing, but the bosses are easy. Yeah, that's like any Mario game nowadays, so it's not a big deal for me. But yeah, I praise this game a lot. I don't really have any negatives to say. Alright, so when you beat the game, of course, you get to play as another character. I gotta throw the goddess out of the room. In-game, obviously. Rosalina. Rosalina, my favorite Mario character, minus Donkey Kong, of course. And what she does, she has a spin like Super Mario Galaxy. She has the same speed as Peach, so there's the downside in that. But I'm biased. I'm going to pick Rosalina when she's an option. She and Luigi are my mains. Don't tell this to MathPat. So yeah, overall though, I praise this game a lot, and the soundtrack, the feel of the game, and just the world's structure. It's honestly amazing. Also, I didn't talk about the Captain Toad. This is also when Captain Toad came back, and you have these little levels play. And when you beat the game, of course, you got a bunch of extra levels you can play. Some levels are like harder versions of other levels that exist, and they can be pretty challenging if you don't know what you're doing. And when you get all the green stars, all the stamps, all the top of the flagpoles, you get the final world crown, where you have to do mystery box houses, which do exist in the area. And then, of course, there's and then there's the Captain Toad you gotta do. And then the final level, Champion's Road. Compared to the hardest levels in the Mario games, this is definitely a brutal one. I say Rosalina is probably the easiest character for me to do this with, because of their spin. But other characters are manageable. It's just kind of a way to do it. I think the hardest one by far is Toad, though. So, good luck with that. But if you're playing multiplayer, yeah. And yeah, this game is multiplayer. It's hella funny, and, you know, you see a lot of videos of multiplayer, and it's funny, honestly. So, yeah. Overall, yeah, Super Mario 3D World is amazing. I will say, it's not my favorite 3D Mario game, but I think this is my 4th favorite 3D Mario game. Only, like, the Galaxy games and Sunshine are, like, my top favorites. I promise, I love Mario Odyssey. It's just, these games are just so good, you know? I've replayed Mario 3D World countless times, and it still remains as one of my top favorite Mario games, honestly. And I'm glad I I wanted to talk about this game fully because I just love this game so much. And it's a little bit of a short video today, but due to timing, I had to make a video on this game. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. Mario 3D World is awesome. If you haven't played this game, what are you doing, man? Go play it. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. What do you guys think of Super Mario 3D World? Let me know in the comments below. Later, folks.